Honorable members, prayers. Almighty God of the Republic of Ghana, grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic. Endow members of Parliament and ministers that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served, and that good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service and honor. A country shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen thoughts. Honorable members, the National Pledge. I promise on my honor Honorable members, at the commencement, the House is extremely privileged to have the presence of His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, President of the Ghana Assembly. His Excellency the President is here in accordance with Article 67 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana to deliver a message on the state on behalf of leadership and all honorable members. It is my privilege and singular honor to welcome His Excellency the President of the Republic to this august House. People of accountability, and this is the house of democracy. Honorable members, before I invite His Excellency the President to deliver the message in the State of the Nation, personalities. We have Her Excellency the First Lady, President, Dr. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, we also have His Excellency the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoudou Bawumia. We have in our presence Her Excellency the Second Lady, Haja Samira. Surely, honorable members, surely we have the spouse of the honorable members, We have the spouse of the Speaker, Her Excellency Alice Adjoa. Honorable members, we have Her Ladyship we have the beloved spouse of the Chief Justice, honorable members, we have our revered Chairman of the Council of State, Nana Otio Sribo, the Chief of Staff, the Chief of Staff, as you all know, is in charge, Madame Frema Opare. We have His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, honorable members. Can we finish? Can we? Honorable members. When honorable members, when the speaker is on his feet, everybody else, please. This is the former sitting of Parliament, and all the rules apply. And I resist it. I know this is election year, but my words can deselect a lot of you. So please, my words, take note and let's proceed. His Excellency, as I mentioned, is the former President of the Republic of Ghana. Excellency Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings. The former First Lady of the Republic of Ghana. The former Speaker of Parliament, my predecessor. We have the national chairman of the new party. We also have the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Honorable Johnson. We have the General Secretary of the new Patriotic Party, Mr. Justin Frimpong Kodua. And we also have the General Secretary, Fiave Kweti. We have the veteran former clerk to Parliament, Mr. Sa. He was in the Legislative Council, and they supported the late KB Ayensu. Another former clerk to Parliament, my own brother, Mr. Emmanuel Kwesi Anyimedu. We have the heads of our security team chiefs. We have our most revered religious leaders and the dean and members of the diplomatic corps. We have our development representative, and definitely we have our partners, our dependable partners, members of the media. By acknowledging all the dignitaries and distinguished invited guests over here. I now have the greatest pleasure in inviting His Excellency the President to deliver his message. Your Excellency, you may deliver your message now.
It is back in Parliament, and to discharge the duty in fulfillment of Article 67 of the Constitution of delivering to the House a message on the state of the nation on this occasion today. In accordance with protocol and convention, it is good to see that First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo Bawumia, the spouse of Mr. Speaker Alice Ajua Jonas, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu, and justices of the Supreme Court, representative of the chairperson and members of the Council of State, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, and service chiefs are all present, as are the Dean and members of the Diplomatic Corps. President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and former First Lady, Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. Up our nation is safe, secure, and under the control of the government and people of Ghana. This might sound like a pedestrian statement with which to say. Unfortunately, far from it being an everyday truism, this is no longer a statement or claim that can be easily made in these times in the neighborhood in which we are. West Africa is under threat of terrorism and violent extremism. We can no longer take for granted. Indeed, many of our neighbors have already fallen victim and lost large portions of their territories to extremist groups. And Ghana, by the grace of the Almighty, is the only coastal state ordered a terrorist attack. To speak of the peace and security we have in our country has not happened by chance. It has taken deliberate policy and planning on the part of government and a lot of hard work and dedication on the part of our security services to keep our country safe, many of our development needs. But I believe we're all agreed that the primary responsibility of the state towards its citizens is to provide and guarantee peace and security, and we're doing just that. Since we came into office, of the armed foundation and physical environment generally of the security agencies are being improved. We've quickened the pace of the retooling and equipping of the security agencies to ensure readiness towards the emerging security threats. It is the security of our streets and homes and communities that concern us most. We want our children and grandchildren to grow up in a safe atmosphere, and the Ghana Police Service played the lead role in this. Again, than they have ever on the streets goes a long way to reassure the community. The changing image of the police is perhaps best exemplified by the dramatic facelift they have given to the frontage of the police headquarters on the Ring Road in Accra, indeed households. Whilst we're spending time, money, and energy and lives keeping the country safe from external dangers, I must add that it is a matter of great concern that we continue to have so many chieftains which tend to be breeding grounds for internal tensions and destabilization. Mr. Speaker, I must make special mention of the troubles in Boko. The tragedy is not only that a thriving and dynamic town is being reduced to a want on development needs of Boko, providing security to keep brothers and sisters from killing each other. Mr. Speaker, what should concern all of us, and not just the people of Boko, is that in its current state, Boko is an alluring magnet from the border. In a bid to find a lasting solution to the conflict, government has in the past year undertaken a number of measures, including the establishment of a special Boko task force and the intensification of engagements with the factions for the resolution of the chieftaincy dispute, have been shut down by the National Communications Authority. The Chief Justice, for her part, has also recently established specialized courts in Accra and in Kumasi to deal expeditiously with criminal matters emanating from the Boko conflict in our country. But it is also very much up to the citizens to help create the needed atmosphere. And I'm thus appealing to all citizens, all Ghanaians, to take the See Something, Say Something campaign of the Ministry of National Security in every corner of West Africa, raising the specter of regional instability, which we thought had been banished. Unconstitutional changes in government in parts of Africa, especially in West Africa, through a series of coups d'etats and military interventions in governance, democratic regression in the region. It is in the interest of democratic growth that this development is reversed as soon as possible. And we in Ghana continue to give maximum support to ECOWAS, the regional body of West Africa, and the AU, Africa's continental organization, of this unwelcome evolution, and help entrench democracy in West Africa. We believe also that a reform of the global governance architecture, such as the Security Council of the United Nations, to make it more representative and accountable, will help strengthen global. Mr. Speaker, we in Ghana have had our fair share of political instability and experimentation about how we should govern ourselves. There might be new names being ascribed to some of the supposed new ideas being canvassed by some today. But I dare say on close examination, questioned messiahs. We know about liberators, and we know about redeemers and deities in military uniform. It might sound new to some, but those of us who have been around for a while have heard the argument made passionately that democracy was not a suitable form of government for coups d'etats. It also not new to have political parties and politics in general being denigrated. Indeed, there used to be national campaigns of fear waged against politics and political parties. It took time, and it took under the Constitution which ushered in the Fourth Republic. Mr. Speaker, it is not a perfect document. Constitutions do not ever pretend to be. But it has served us well these past 32 years, considered lightly. But I hasten to add, our Constitution did not descend from heaven. We Ghanaians drew it up to serve our needs, and we can amend it to suit our changing needs and circumstances. We should work towards finding a consensus on the changes that the majority holding of free and credible elections ensure that people have confidence in the government that emerges at the end of the process. The honorable members of this House, who are at the center of it all, know more than the rest of us that this is an election year. On December 7th, we shall be going to the polls to elect a new president and new members of parliament. A lot of the responsibility lies on the Electoral Commission to put the organization in place that would ensure that we have credible elections. On the political parties as well. And I hope that the parties recognize that their credibility is also on the line, especially with some people wanting to undermine the multi-party democratic system of government. It is up to the parties to demonstrate that at the end of the process, the loser will congratulate the winner, and the world does not come to an end because an election has been lost. There is nothing inherently dirty or corrupt about politics, and nothing about elections that should generate violence. Ourselves, the institutions we claim to belong to, and above all, we owe it to Ghana and the people of Ghana to make politics and elections the serious and joyful phenomenon they should be. In discharging their responsibility, I urge the Electoral Commission to work with the political parties to shelve plans to change the 7th December date. Politics, after all, has been described as the art of the possible. And if that is what we are engaged in, it should not be beyond us to resolve the problems that come up and concentrate on working to build the happy and prosperous country we want. Manifested at the end of the electoral process. And I want to reassure the people of Ghana that I'll do everything in my power to help ensure the conduct of transparent, free, and fair elections on 7th December. Who might want to cause havoc or any kind of mischief to disrupt the electoral process will have no room to operate. Mr. Speaker, there are amongst us those who, for ideological or other unstated reasons, have, and therefore, manner. There are also those amongst us who consider the rough and tumble of politics to be beneath them and will not want their sainted images to be solved by what they term the dirt of politics. Together. But nobody should undermine the integrity of the arms of government for parochial reasons. There is definitely much room for improvement in the workings of the executive arm of government, the judiciary, and our parliament. Even those mistakes, and sometimes get things alarmingly wrong. It would be surprising if our 31-year-old parliament did not get things wrong sometimes. This august house, which holds so many fond memories for the people, or even sometimes of its own members. There's a lot of anxiety currently about how our MPs get elected. There's anxiety about the rapid turnover of members in the House and the loss of institutional memory. We will not all agree with everything that the Parliament does. And I dare say, Mr. Speaker, that I do not agree with everything that goes on in here. But that is the beauty of what we as a people are trying to do in our governance structure. Mr. Speaker, the President has important observations at this stage on some of the issues in our public discourse in the lead up to the elections for a new president. Under the Constitution, she is the executive. There's no ambiguity about where the buck stops when it comes to responsibility for what happens in the government. It stops with, it would be an unwise president that would pretend to have all the answers and refuse the advice of his officials. But the fact remains that the president holds the executive power. The cabinet, the ministers of state, all are generated by the president or the official or a committee and turn it into a huge success. And the honors will be claimed or shared where public perception falls. But ultimately, the president is responsible and therefore takes the credit or the blame for what. Mr. Speaker, let me make a second point. The programs that come from the executive benefit from the rigorous public examination and debates to which they are subjected. We all now take for granted and sometimes even bemoan me quiet satisfaction and great pride to hear young Ghanaians today who believe that criticizing the President of the Republic and challenging government proposals are normal, regular activities. Some of the young people listen with incredulity from opposition voices. Today, there are some 550 radio stations in operation in this country. In spite of all its shortcomings and difficulties, the people of Ghana have shown admirable commitment to the past 32 years of the Fourth Republic have witnessed the most sustained period of stability and economic growth in our country. And we should be proud of what we have achieved and seek to protect and build on it. And that is much Akufo-Addo is our democracy, our pride. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to report on the progress we're making in the administration of justice. This past year, a total of 7 new Chief Justice, 2 new Justices of the Supreme Court, 23 new High Court judges, 29 Circuit Court judges, and 21 new magistrates. 262 staff were recruited to address some of the human resource courts. 2024, 3 additional justices have been appointed to the Supreme Court to replace 3 justices who have retired from the court. We've made unprecedented progress in the provision of court buildings and residences for judges around the country. In 20, with residential facilities nationwide. As of 31st January 2024, 67 courthouses have been successfully inaugurated and are in use at various sites around the country. 12 completed projects have been stated for inauguration by the end of this month or May 2024. In addition, 121 residential units have been constructed for judges throughout the country. Further, 20 fully furnished 4-bedroom units, together with social amenities, have been constructed to say that we have resolved the problem of the disgraceful state of court buildings. The attention now is to the digitalization process of the courts to modernize the entire system. The judicial service has undertaken a digitalization initiative. The system was introduced during the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure the continuity of business. The virtual court system was also rolled out to 17 courts, then subsequently to 19 high courts for the smooth hearing of court cases. 106 for the real-time transcription of cases, in addition to 51 courts piloting the paperless court system in Accra. The integration of real-time transcription devices in 160 courts has revolutionized the way in court proceedings. The service is rolling out a comprehensive digitalization of the court system. The Attorney General has continued in a very effective manner the tradition under this administration of contesting every single litigation against the state, and has avoided the numerous judgment CDs. All the evidence is there. I shall be performing a pleasant duty and finally bring to an end the age-old office accommodation problem. I must declare a personal interest in it, as the building was started when I was Attorney General in the government of President John Akufo-Addo back in 2000, and share the frustration that the convergence of events and fate have conspired to place impediments on the path of the rapid development trajectory we were on. I'm proud that in spite of the dramatic financial crisis that we encountered came manifest in 2022, the transformative measures we introduced in the first 4 years of office make it possible to showcase an impressive array of developmental projects across the length and breadth of the country. Taken since coming into office, their location and what stage of completion they are in. Mr. Speaker, with the best will in the world, there simply will not be the time to do that, even if we spend all. During the message on the state of the nation, faced with a similar problem about road projects, I came to the House and with a fat book that had the details of the road projects around the country to go through at their own leisure. I haven't heard anybody point out one. This year, we're taking things to a higher level. This government, after all, is the digitalization government. And the man, these past 7 years, my indefatigable vice president, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, is coming out with what will allow everyone and everybody and anyone to check on every project being undertaken by the government without having to listen to the president's message on the state of the nation. We are calling it, and you could stop by and make a physical inspection if you were so minded. Mr. Speaker, if you want to check on roads, classroom blocks or chip compounds or Agenda 111 hospital, or bridges, or science laboratory, other infrastructural projects, or whatever this government use your tax money to execute, the key to your query is right there on your phone. Mr. Speaker, the performance tracker will be formally launched in March, and I'm offering it into your hands. With the performance tracker, we can be sure that never again will pictures of an artist's impression be offered as projects that have been completed. I'm able to recommend the performance tracker in the sure knowledge that the Akufo-Addo government has done more in education in terms of student enrollment, teacher training, and digitalization than any other government. Thanks to the performance tracker, the president no longer has to go through lists. And I have the confidence to say that every performance indicator used shows we have done more in these 7 years. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, I'm coming into office 7 years ago. My government took the decision, as we promised, to modernize and formalize the economy through digital. Mr. Speaker, come what may, I will have my day in Hansard. I will have my day in Hansard. Come what may. Believe you me. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, on coming into office 7 years ago, my government took the decision, as we promised, to modernize and formalize the economy through digitalization. Embarked on one of the most far-reaching digitalization exercises in Africa. Up from the figure of 900,000 which we inherited when we came into office in 2017. We have thus far enrolled 17.6 million. We've also with unique addresses for all properties in Ghana. Furthermore, through the implementation of mobile money interoperability, we've also provided access to financial services for adult Ghanaians through mobile money accounts. Ghana is now ranked #1 in Africa in terms of access to financial inclusion. We have digitalized the provision of public services at the ports, DVLA, NHIS, GRA, and #7 in Africa in e-governance. We have also implemented the use of drones in the delivery of medicines, blood, and vaccines. And Ghana currently runs the world's largest medical drone, teaching regional and district hospitals. And patient records can easily be accessed in these hospitals without the need for a phone. Ghana is making giant strides in the area of digitalization. Thereby are definitely going to be part of the digital revolution that is sweeping the world. Mr. Speaker, last year when I came to the House to deliver the annual message on the state of the nation, we were in the midst of negotiations with the internet and had to take a lot of unpleasant but unavoidable measures to bring stability and confidence back to the economy. These included tax measures that we did not like, but we knew we had to take in the knowledge that the medicine will be bitter but temporary. Stated the restructuring of our domestic and external debt to ensure we remain resolute in our objective to restore macroeconomic stability and sustainable growth. The decision was not an easy one, considering the complex and diverse domestic debt, social and economic state debt market. A year on, I'm happy to inform you, Mr. Speaker, that we have made significant progress. We requested an unprecedented number of bondholders to participate in a voluntary exchange. And we were able, not only was the exchange successful, but it helped us to secure within 5 months, the shortest possible time in recent debt restructuring history, a staff-level agreement to an executive board agreement with the IMF. My gratitude goes to all financial sector players, organized labor. As you may recall, government successfully paid the first coupon of 2.3 billion CDs on the new bonds on 22nd August 2023. At the time, that was the single biggest payout of domestic payments in a single 3. A week ago, last Tuesday, on 20th February 2024, the second coupon of 5.8 billion CDs was paid to domestic bondholders. This is the largest coupon paid in a day in Ghana. On the external debt side, we achieved a significant milestone by reaching an agreement with our public creditors. And I'll use this occasion to express the official creditors committee for their positive roles in this achievement. We've also intensified our engagement with our external bondholders on the principles of transparency, fair treatment. We are focused and committed to accelerating the process. Mr. Speaker, we're able to complete substantially projects that have been constrained due to financial challenges. In the meantime, some of the priority projects have been transferred onto the GOG budget with the same fiscal space to ensure their completion. Report was some 98% complete, to be completed by May. Other projects like the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital, CATH, maternity block in Kumasi, the Takrady interchange, the Bechabilamti interchange in Accra, and the construction of the 84-kilometer railway line between Tema and Nakosumbo would also be completed. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to announce that an alternative source of funding has and completion for diagnosis and treatment. The contractor has been paid an advance mobilization of 15%, representing some $7.5 million United States dollars, and work has begun. The project commenced effective. Mr. Speaker, it is important to underline that the recent change in the leadership of the Finance Ministry will not affect government's determined commitment to implementing the terms agreed with the IMF to ensure that we restore the economy. Indeed, then in 2022, inflation reached peaked at 54.4%. In December 2022, has reduced to 23.5% in January 2025. Real GDP growth for the first 3 quarters of 2023 averaged. The CD has been largely stable since February 2023, with a cumulative depreciation of 9% between February and December 2023. A significant build-up of a 5.9 billion United States dollars, enough to cover 2.7 months of import of goods and services. The current account turned positive at 1.4% of GDP at the end of September 2020. Again, all pointing in the right direction. I should point out that in all our discussions with the fund, a paramount consideration has been to ensure that the poor and vulnerable that have to be made. Programs like LEAP, school feeding and capitation grant have been protected and indeed enhanced. Mr. Speaker, right from the start of this government coming into office, we have sought to place the maximum effort on the education and training of the youngest member of my parliament in 1,000 generations to have gone to the university, unquote. In the past 7 years, I've met many people, young and old, across the country, who have told me about the first person in their families, in their communities, to have gone to the youngest boy or girl in their family to have gone to senior high school. The answer is not far-fetched. Not being able to go to secondary school for lack of money was so widespread, an accepted phenomenon, that it led to some people thinking senior high school was not a village, and therefore a child in the family finishing junior school and moving on to senior high school was simply not factored in their expectations. Mr. Speaker, free SHS might be labeled by its detractors as a mere liberated minds. It is humbling on one hand and frightening on the other to think of the sheer number of talents the free SHS has unearthed that would otherwise have ended their formal education at BECE. I know we will get more engineers, doctors, architects, even if they stop at high school, at senior high school. Imagine what 1 million more secondary school educated young people will do to our self-confidence and the value of our workforce. That alone makes free SHS worthwhile. I'm proud that the MPP government, I believe the success of the free SHS policy has answered its critics and the arguments about it should cease, and we should simply concentrate on finding ways to improve it. I'm particularly glad that the fears about lowering of standards best waxing results in over a decade. Mr. Speaker, there's more to education than free SHS. The government has been paying equal attention to all the other sectors. Kindergarten, primary school, and juniors, the capitation grant, feeding grants to special schools, BEC registration for pupils in public junior high schools, among others, have significantly increased access to education at the basic level. Sector has been to improve learning outcomes and ensure every child